Good evening. Those familiar black helicopters folks in Pinellas County are used to seeing in the skies won't be around as much anymore. The 23 Black Hawk Army Reserve helicopters that are presently based at St. Pete Clearwater Airport are moving across the bay to MacDill Air Force Base. At first, that change caused concern for Pinellas Congressman David Jolly, but he quickly changed his mind about opposing the reassignment. That's because the helicopters will be replaced by 8 Army Reserve airplanes with a support staff of about 50 people. Congressman Jolly says it's a win-win for the area, particularly with the Pentagon continuing to call for more base closings. He feels getting those helicopters to MacDill gives decision makers one more reason to keep MacDill open. We're at the Florida State Fairgrounds inside of the Expo Hall. This has been the scene of many graduations throughout the years for Hillsborough County students. The school board and schools like it because there's plenty of room. Lots of seats for family, friends, and of course the students. Armwood High is graduating today. This is a major day for the families and their students, a milestone, and usually it goes off without a hitch. One class comes in, another comes in later, they leave, and it all goes well. Not the case the other night, though. The problem the other night was the amphitheater had a concert, which they didn't let the Fair Authority know about. 17,000 people came in. They were tailgating and having a good old time in the parking lots as graduates and their families came in. Then there was a thunderstorm. As the graduates and their families tried to leave, folks from the amphitheater tried to leave. There was no traffic control to speak of at the entrance gates. In fact, there was only one gate open at the time, and it took an hour and a half for many people to get out of here. This was not a good situation. Fair Authority members and the Sheriff's Office got together and have made some changes. The Fair Authority is opening up more parking lots, more gates, and these cars and sheriff's deputies are going to be assigned to make sure people can get in and out of the fairgrounds safely and quickly. On scene, Roger P. Schulman. Violence in a Florida courtroom is nothing new, but when the judge punches somebody, that's a bit unusual. That's what happened in an Orlando area courthouse. Witnesses say Judge John Murphy hit Assistant Public Defender Andrew Weinstock after the two exchanged words over whether his client could get a speedy trial in the Brevard County Courthouse. Weinstock's supervisor says the judge grabbed Public Defender Weinstock's collar in the hallway outside the courtroom and then punched him. Deputies broke up the fight. The judge refuses to comment on the situation, and at this point, nobody has been arrested. We're preparing to boost our military presence in Europe as tensions simmer over Russia's aggressive actions in Ukraine. President Obama says the U.S. plans to send more military equipment and rotate additional troops into the region. He called on lawmakers in Washington to provide $1 billion of additional funding to sustain the effort. Miley Cyrus continues to make the news with her on-stage antics during her Bangers tour. Her performance includes riding a giant hot dog, putting a fan's thong in her mouth, and performing in her underwear. But is the queen of twerking really all that wild? Let's revisit Lady Gaga. As part of her Art Pop Ball tour, Lady Gaga strips naked and does an entire costume change on stage. And of course, Madonna. Madonna had a striptease segment, and as she removed clothing, she encouraged the audience to throw money at her for charity. And then Britney Spears. She gave lap dances on her Femme Fatale tour in 2011 and makes one lucky audience members come on stage and get dressed in leather dog attire. Spears then walks them on a leash across the stage, smacking them with a leather crop. Miley Cyrus is not the first pop star to get raunchy in front of an audience and probably won't be the last. That's the news. I'm Roger P. Schulman.